Hello, everyone. So it's Gina Kroshak, PrismsScape Gems and Healing Center. Today is August the. I'm telling you, this new screen is quite remarkable for both of us. We tried enlarging the screen, and then it just disappeared on us. So we'll see if that happens. But we're just gonna do our best as updates. Do you know how all of us just get baffled when we've had our phone updated, we've had our computer updated, and the programs that we've been working with for months, sometimes years, all of a sudden have new features that we weren't expecting. And so that's what's happened with us with our Facebook Live is it's taken a just a decent sized screen of the two of us, and it's taken it into one that literally is about 3 by 2, if that. But anyway, in spite of all of the silliness of that, Tamara's joining me. Tamara Ray is joining me. She's going to assist me, and we're sort of got a very interesting show today because I had several stones calling out saying that they wanted to be on the screen and wanted to be seen, and several of them are ones that require special handling and an awareness on your part when you're working with them so that you can always be safe and you can appreciate them and work with them and love them. And so the one that called out the most and the strongest, it's actually been just about every time we have talked in here. I don't think I've shown it before. I don't think it's been on one of our 4 o'clocks. Is the Stibnite. It's been on the Wednesday night sales, the live sales event.
I'm pretty sure that we might have talked about it, but could I ask a request? Because it's not showing us that our live viewers or our comments on here. So if somebody could just throw down a comment real quick or wave or say hi, so we can see if we can use this screen option for our view. If not, we'll go back to the little screen. So just let us know so you could do that real quick.
Yeah. I think we just like to look at ourselves.
Well, it's really helpful when you're showing the stones to have a screen so you can get a better view. And I'm hoping that Facebook adjusts that or fix that, because I know when it comes to the Wednesday or the whatever our sales nights is, I will need to have a larger screen to see this.
Yeah, so we've got to figure this out, and I'm not sure. What we can do is let me go on my.
No, you just keep doing that. I'm gonna work on this.
She's gonna work on this. Okay, so she's my techie. Actually, she's sort of like everything that keeps us going in here. So today, we're going to talk about Stibnite, and one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about Stibnite is because hey Lynn, good to see you. Hi Alice. Stibnite had a message a few years ago that I just thought was quite fascinating and pretty darn powerful. And it is a combination of it's got lead in it, and so that's the reason why it's really important for you to be able to well, I think it might splinter on your tongue if you try and do that. Can I just say? So Stibnite, it's just, and sometimes they just go like this. The different fibers and the minerals in it, they just become like this, and they so their message is multidimensional, multidirectional, linear, singular, signing to all who hold me the completeness of all there is, each perspective unique, but the same opening of the will and working with the heart in unison to join together to create an inner world of accessing one's true desires, true nature, and true being. Gently whispering my guidance into your cells, giving you strength to stand up for yourself, giving you a solid foundation to build new creations and expanded awareness reflective of you. Your I am presence. Know yourself, know me. I am Stibnite, empowerer of goddess and divine goodness and divine order. And the goddess at that. But so it comes out of China, and it is an incredibly powerful manifesting stone. It helps us with, in fact, Robert Simmons in his pocketbook of stones uh, touts stibnite as one which, when you think about what you want or set your intention to manifest it, you better know what you're doing, because otherwise you're going to end up with um, something that you may not want. So it becomes really important. And this is just a single, a collection of two larger strands of it together. And it is, it's one of those stones that you really don't want children handling. So it's really good, again, once you have,
So I won't handle it.
well, you can handle it, but you may want to get the liquid squirt, and but I
really
love
open up the
stibnite.
cells?
I mean, stibnite's one of those. I remember the first time I saw it, I was in Buddy Haney's shop out in Boone, North Carolina, and I come around the corner, and as you say, it is sparkly, Alice. I looked at it and I was like, what in the world is that? And at that particular show, I happened to have, we were, at that, we found it in Boone at Buddy's shop, but then went to a show at Franklin that year and found several pieces of it. And since then, and every now and then it gets to be pretty rare, and so the price is a little precious. And so as a result, this large piece is 50% off. And it is, I don't know, what is the price on this?
150.
150. So it's worth it. That's all I can say. I love stibnite. It is one of my favorite stones. So stibnite is pretty special. Let's see what Joe said about it. It's used for manifesting light into physical form, a powerful meditation stone, helps the body incorporate higher frequency, and it helps one release fears about exploration of the. No, you do not, Alice. You don't need to be careful with selenite.
Actually, I think what she's pointing out, did you want to finish reading that
Yeah.
before you comment?
Helps one release fears about exploration of the spiritual world and higher realms. It promotes cleansing and the release of debris from the emotional body. Well, I can tell you, all of us, particularly right now, can benefit from releasing emotional debris. Don't you think? I
Yeah.
think. I mean, we're getting to that place where a lot of people are starting to get a little squirrely, a little anxious. And the answer is it's going to be much easier if we all take time to just sit. It's, one of the things I've started trying to do recently is to just close my eyes for a few minutes to stop the stimulation, so that I can just take a moment and recenter. And I think that that's one of the things that, if nothing else, this time is giving us are these moments that we would never take when we're in a rush to get out the door and go do something. So now Alice had a question. She says, I don't notice selenite on the table. Do you need to be careful with that as well?
So the majority of things we're talking about today are with safe handling practices is because of potential toxicity. But just to point out what Alice is kind of referring to is that selenite is kind of like flaky, and it will have little dust. And if you're rubbing the selenite up and down, it can actually splinter into your finger, very similar to like messing around with fiberglass. So it's not like super toxic, but it can be a little ouchy. So the majority, again, the majority of stuff we're talking about here is more dealing with toxicity and not that it could be bitey, because many of the crystals with little small points can do that. But that's what selenite, this is, you could rub it this way and you're fine, but if you go with the flow and a splinter comes off, it can actually splinter into your finger.
Yeah,
So,
we don't want that.
Yeah.
That just is, like
Ouchie.
you say, an ouchie. Yeah.
but
So,
excellent point.
yeah. So then, this is one, and it's the only piece that we have. And it is a stone, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but it is a remarkable stone. It's a stone called wolfenite, Wulfenite, and it aids self-transformation, artistic creativity, personal power. It inspires one to create and to love the earth and life's adventures. It also stimulates metabolism and enhances sexual function and enjoyment. So the wolfenite has, I believe, it has arsenic in it. Why it is uh, considered potentially dangerous. So there you go.
And
But
this piece kind of looks like a wolf, doesn't it?
it does look like a
It even
wolf.
has like an eye hole right here.
Yes, it does.
So when I saw it on the screen, I did a little giggle because it kind of does look like maybe a face of a wolf.
It does with the snout and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Which is funny for wolfenite. Okay. that's it. I'm done.
It's all right. This morning, this woman, I'd gotten just a phenomenal healing session with our dear friend Mary Gieselman, who's just starting out in practice down in Muscatine. And she messaged me this morning to see how I was feeling after the session. And she said, I said, I'm feeling good, happy. I said, actually, a little silly. So I think today is just a day to be happy and silly. And so maybe that's why we're taking on the serious stuff on such a wonderful day.
Yes, great time.
Yeah.
Great time.
And so, yeah, wolfenite, and it is not an easy stone to find. In fact, we had one of the things that I do know is that over time it will dry out if you have small pieces, because we had some little mini postage stamp pieces, but they just dried out early on. But Buddy had them. Who knows how long Buddy had them. So we'd gotten them from him. But this piece is just rather remarkable. And I don't know, how much is that piece?
This is 170,
170.
which would be carrying the 10% discount right now.
Yeah.
So,
So, okay. So now then, we're going to one that many people have heard of, and we're going to be looking at cinnabar. And one of the reasons, it is so beautiful. So cinnabar comes out of China. It's one of those things. The reason it's got some toxicity in it, it's really if it's rough, if it's loose and not polished, it has mercury in it, and so that's why you have to be conscious of it in terms of making sure that when you handle it, you're careful. So, and the really fascinating thing is energetically, cinnabar supports clearing toxins and overcoming infections. Sort of like makes sense, right? And it helps one release anger and resentment, and it can help you face truth and divine truth courageously, and facilitates perceiving the divine pattern. I think that many of us are looking to this whole business, and cinnabar has this deep, rich red color. It's sort of a red orange, so it's going to be a really good stone for working with your root chakra, I would say, root and possibly your sacral chakra. So, pretty wonderful. Here you go.
okay.
It's just, it's sort of interesting, the things that we find to display rocks in. So that's a little cup for fruit.
Oh, nice.
So for those of you who may not have noticed when you've been in our shop, many of our display pieces are are courtesy of the dollar store. It, it's a much simpler way of putting lots of rocks out and without too much expense. So we're very happy. So now this one, this bumblebee jasper, and we have shown it numerous times. I think it's because it's so absolutely beautiful, and we love bumblebees. It looks a little bit like, I mean, we are in Hawkeye country, and some people saw the black and the gold. And what makes it a little bit toxic, not in this form, but makes us conscious of it, is the presence, the yellow coloring is due to the presence of sulfur, which can be toxic, along with arsenic, which is the orange. Therefore, wash your hands after you're handling it. And we will wash our hands when we stop handling these.
Yes.
But Judy Hall claims that when she, for those of you who don't know much about Judy Hall's work, she really is, she's out of England. She is a consummate writer on crystals, and she has a wonderful website, and she did a blog, and with her blog, I'm not quite ready, with her blog, she talked about, when she talked about bumblebee jasper, she said she had written 5,000 words by having bumblebee jasper sitting beside her when she started writing. That's a lot of words, can I just say. So it helps you accept change, find new opportunities, increase your self-esteem. And it also physically helps with your abdominal issues, allergies, and nervous system and heart and circulatory disorders. So there you go.
So some people, I will just mention, do stone waters. These are definitely ones that you would want to avoid.
Absolutely.
Putting in any type of food or water.
Mhm.
And again, just washing your hands after you use them or work with them.
Right.
But having them being in that tumbled does make them safer
Mhm.
than the rough or raw form,
Right.
which it could kind
Because
of powder
the powder
off.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's really important. And so I think that one of the things that you need to check, because a lot of people are into making mineral waters, is that it's really wonderful if you um, check some source before you ever put your rocks into water to know that it's safe for you to do so.
Mhm.
Yeah. And even there's a difference, like with shungite. The shungite water is really well known, and but generally they recommend that you use the silver shungite rather than some of the other uh, shungite. So, okay, and now let's see.
So
Galena would be next. And galena, we have some galena in this too.
Yep.
But galena is another one like stibnite, which has lead in it. And galena, this galena does indeed come from Galena, Illinois.
nice.
Yeah. And so it's useful at facilitating shamanism, visionary experience, alchemical transformation. It helps with soul retrieval and healing past life issues, and it supports recovery from infection, radiation, and chemotherapy. So it's going to be one of those that's going to be very beneficial. But again, you want to be conscious of the fact that it does come out of the family, the lead family.
So I got called to Galena about 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason was for spiritual growth and evolution. It is a very, actually, even though it's like lead based, it's a very high vibrational stone to help
Yes.
you move through the ascension process.
Yeah.
And so when I did a lot of the research, I noticed it numerous warnings: Galena, Galena, lead, lead, lead. But yet it's always just, well, just wash your hands afterwards.
Just
And
wash your hands.
don't lick it or chew on it.
Yeah.
So, but this is a raw, or this is a just straight galena. And this piece that we have, Also has quartz clusters and pyrite, which you can see often with different growing together with galena.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so sometimes you can, the different caves and stuff that you can go into, you can see a lot of galena in those caves down by the Mark Twain area
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
and in Illinois.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, that is, and when you're working with again, with the pyrite, you're working with manifestation, action, vitality, willpower, creativity, confidence. And your quartz, of course, amplifies everything. So it's pretty, I, I think these are pretty special. They've been on the live sale several times, but I just think they're quite delightful.
Well, different pieces they actually
Different
sell.
pieces,
Yeah,
yeah,
we've
yeah.
been selling quite a few of them.
Yeah.
So each time is typically different pieces.
Yeah, and the pyrite just sort of all of a sudden jumps out at you because it's so sparkly.
And even though they're from the same lead family, you can see the difference in the actual crystalline structures of these. With this being more of the long,
Straight up and down.
yeah, the bar, whereas this is the cubed.
Yeah. And we had, for a while, we had some amazing clusters where you would just see these incredible intersections between, and you'd have gaps between on the stibnite, gaps between them. And it was just so, I keep doing this, and it's because that's sort of what it would look like. It would be like putting your uh, hands apart, but and then they're growing together. So it's really wonderful. And we have to, you're completely right, Alice. We do have to wash our hands anyway with COVID. I can't tell you how many times we clean our hands in the shop on a regular basis. Every time we open and unlock the door, lock and unlock it, yeah.
Yes, and in between customers.
And in between
yeah.
customers.
And sometimes if I don't remember the last time, I just do it anyway. So it's more
Exactly.
times than not.
Yeah.
So
It's very true. And then there were two stones that I just wanted to bring to your attention because there's some of those stones, you know, sometimes people just can't see them for because they sort of disappear and they're not real easy to see the crystals in them. They're really sort of unique little bitty crystals in the matrix. And so that is a magnetite. And they actually come, and we don't have some of the, for a while we had some of the individual ones, and they're almost triangular shaped. And so the magnetite works with magnetic therapy on the body's meridians. It's a strong grounding stone. It attracts love, encouraging a balanced perspective and trust in your own intuition. And so the green, and I know you just want to get in there, and a few of them, like this one, has them above instead of in. And
that's
so
really cool.
yeah.
So this one has a piece. Most of them look like little triangles, just kind of sticking, or octahedrons.
And diamonds, yeah.
Diamonds.
Yeah.
There we go.
But this one looks like a triangle.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, many of these do as well.
Yeah. And so people,
little pyramid.
yeah, it's sort of hard to see them, but I just, it's like if we take time and look at sometimes the nondescript, the non-sparkly, although those crystals can be pretty sparkly.
Are pretty sparkly.
Yeah. They do a good job of showing, we just wanted to show them because they're not that flashy. And the matrix part of it, they said, yes, we are.
They're like, yes, we are. And the matrix itself looks like
beautiful.
It looks like it's coated in glitter.
It does look
just like a dusting of glitter.
Yeah. And the green of it is so beautiful. It's like a moss on the forest floor. And just imagine how quiet it is as you go through. And they're saying there are lots of fairies working with it.
I saw that too.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like in the forest with it. It's just quite delightful.
And both of these pieces, by the way, are $20.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And so then we have one that people are familiar with. And it's a again, it's one of those nondescript stones. It's called lodestone and magnetite, but it is a very powerful, even though it just looks like a stone you might pick up off the ground outside. It's good for working, increasing your psychic abilities, working with your healers and sensitive people to stay grounded and balanced. And staying grounded and balanced these days is very good because what you got?
This is a cute one.
It
I
is.
don't know.
It is. It's got the curvatures in it. Yeah, and it's even got a little bit of sparkle in it. And it helps you prevent mood swings. This would be good for COVID. That's all I can say. It'd be very good for COVID. Good for emotional balance. It supports your blood, the liver, the bone marrow, and it clears the meridians. And for those of you who are familiar with acupuncture, acupressure, or Chinese medicine, the meridians are the circulatory uh, areas where different parts of the body are worked with. So lodestone and magnetite.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we got two more for you.
Mhm.
Which one are we going to next? We should do zincite.
I think zincite. And zincite, we've talked about it before, but when you're talking about stones that have some linkage to metals, this metal, of course, is zinc, and it is comes out of the smelting plants, the old smelting plants from the flues of smelting. It's a byproduct. There is actually a natural stone called zincite, but it's very nondescript. It's just, you don't find it very often. It's sort of a pale yellow. And so when they melt it down to use it in creating zinc products, these residues fall through and go into the, they're melted. So they are the result of the melting process or smelting process in zinc facilities. And I just think they're beautiful. In zincite's message, I think one reason, and that I just think zincite's message is one of the most wonderful messages we have. And so zincite says, so long ago my journey began, forming and growing under the cover of darkness, unknowing of the light. Explosions and discovery of the light when human hands came for me. I'd heard stories of others who went before me to help the ones called humans so they could evolve and grow in their own light. When I first felt their touch, I knew my divine service had been actualized. Little did I know of the fires which spawned me. Unlike my brethren, I went through many fires rather than being shaped into a tool or ornament for the workers. I found the ecstasy of the fire to be ever renewing and creative. I found it to be nourishing and all I needed to become my true self, carrier of creation's energy. The joy of continuous renewal is my purpose. Hold me, be still with me, or simply allow me to be in your thoughts, your presence, your glory emerging with mine. And together we form new life and renew each other. I am zincite, creation's fire. Hold me close and create.
Okay.
And then it says, it's like every now and then these stones just have it's like reading a Rumi poem where he says his original poem and then he's like, oh, I've got a few more things to say. And so this zincite had a few more things to say. I burn away the stink of decayed thoughts and bring you the freshness of mountain air so you can breathe again. I open you to seeing the birth of all there is. Anytime you have questions of directions, ask and you will know the truth the fires of creation bring. Embrace the fire, embrace the light, embrace the divine, and be it. So I think this is just one of my favorite messages, so it could very well be. And it does look sort of like a heart, and it also looks like a flower. It's quite remarkable. So this piece, we only have this one small piece left. Tamara's sharing her personal zinc, piece of zincite with us. And so we're really grateful for that. Forgot to bring in Preedite's card.
I'm on it.
Thank you. So now Creedite is going to be the last stone that we show today. And I can't even begin to tell you how delightful Creedite is. So Creedite comes out of Mexico. At least this Creedite does. And it's one of those stones that is, you want to talk about sparkly. So it is just rather remarkable with all of its little spikes. It's got little bitty points coming all out. And sometimes Creedite grows in the shape of animals. And let me just see what geology.com says. And it will grow with fluorite, and it'll grow with calcite oftentimes. And it is pretty darn cool if you ask me. And let's see, geology.com. Let's see, Creedite. There we go. So it's not telling me what I want, so I'll just have to look at something else. So it is, it looks like it's got hematite with it. This is, I would say this is what is it? One of the like geotite in terms of the black. And so this one has the incredible, just clear crystals. Sometimes they're clear crystals, sometimes they must be full of hematite, wouldn't you think? And look at the shape of this. Look at those little caves, if you can show it around. The caves within Creedite, I think they are just astounding to see what's in there.
Okay, I'm going to move this to full screen real quick.
So you can see.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Let me see what here it is. This mineral helps align the throat and crown chakras, providing for clarity and expression in the spiritual realm. And it enhances spirituality as a tool to be used in channeling meditation, providing clarity in the verbalization of the message. And it helps us by providing a driving force toward an objective, promoting insight into the obstruction, and initiating the wisdom to circumvent or the ability to penetrate an obstacle. And it can be useful in working with broken bones. So Jennifer, I know that Chris's bones are healed by now. Isn't that just, I just think these are some of the most magnificent stones we have because they're all so different. And they just really help us. And they also vibrate to the number 6. And then this last one. Oh, let's see if there's, just trying to see if there's any fluoride in these. They seem to be all the quartz crystals and the hematite and the geotite in it. So.
Oh, there's fluorite.
There you go. So show that. Yeah, so the fluorite, and it's just a, and then there's, yeah, this good piece here. Yeah, it's just usually it'll be a blue or a green fluorite in working with them. And every now and then you'll see a piece that has calcite growing with it at the same time. And I have one in my, at home that looks like a chicken. They grow in some of the most interesting, and I have a wonderful piece in the healing room as well. That's very similar to that. So, I know. Yes. Here you go. And then this is the last piece. And then we're going to just close today with talking a little bit about what's going to be happening over the next 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks. And it's sort of interesting because when I came in today, well, Stibnite kept nudging me, but I trying to find a unifying principle for some of these talks has always been interesting. But today it seemed like it was going to be beneficial to talk about some of the lesser known stones, and it's and they're very wonderful characteristics. So we just wanted to, there are several things. One, remind you that the online sales are just taking a vacation break, and we talked about they'll be back September the 2nd.
We'll be back in September.
Yes, you'll be back in September. Okay. And I don't know that we know the date, the first one. And so, but they'll be back in September. And as I made the comment with the season finale, uh, we can, it might be fun to go back and look at some of the previous shows that Paul and Tamara put together, several of them, particularly some of the ones with the themes were really, really, they were lessons as well as, and there were teachings with them. So the ones working with ascension, the ones working with heart centered, and all of you who watched the last show of the season were given homework on working with the heart centered approach to spiritual growth. And there were 4 phases of it. So some of you should be in the middle of the first phase, working with a particular group of stones. And then there's a second phase. So go back if you don't remember it or if you missed it. And the information about all of those stones and the heart-centered approach is posted on our Facebook page. Is it on the website as well? We'll probably see if we can also get it on our website. So, and so that is for the online, that's for the online live Facebook live sales. So they're taking a nice little break. I think with all of right now, with all the confusion that's going on with school reopenings and with people trying to sort out, because the number of cases of COVID, particularly in our area and in our state, seem to just not plateau yet. They've not started going down, and so it's important to work with those. And so that, I think, taking a break, this is a good time to take a break. So then
We will have online store.
the online
available.
store will be available.
We do ask for a little extra time with processing orders because there will be periods of time in which there will not be anyone in the shop that will be able to do that. So if you do purchase online, just give us a couple of days to get your orders processed.
Mm-hmm. And so then in terms of the first 3 weeks that we're on vacation and a break, we're going to, Tamara's going to be doing some things and working with volunteers, and she can tell you a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we're just going to rework the shop shelves to be a little bit more accommodating for those that are looking for particular qualities of crystals. And so looking for volunteers that are really good with organization skills, or decorating as far as like helping to set up displays. We also just a variety of different things like that. Those that are familiar with with the crystals or stones.
Mhm.
And then for every 4 hours that you are able to donate your time, we will give you a coupon for a 20% off purchase,
Mhm.
which is definitely worth your time.
Mhm. So then, there will be some shopping available, but you're gonna have to contact Tamara directly to see if that's gonna be something that's gonna be available to you.
Right.
Mhm. And you can do that through info@prismscape.com, or you can do it by messaging her on Facebook or to her email again, tamra@prismscape.com. And I am going to cough a little bit.
So we also are going to have the reopening of the shop on September 15th, which is a Tuesday. We'll keep the same hours, noon to 3:30
Mm-hmm.
during the week, and Friday and Saturday noon to 5. Um, so we look forward to having all of that rearranging done, and the shop's looking great to have you guys back on the 18th.
So, and we'll be here next
15th.
week, yeah, on the
15th.
15th.
September 15th.
That's because the shop starts its vacation
On the 18th.
on August 18th, and so we'll be going from there. So then the other thing is to just say we love you all, and we'll have 2 more of these talks before I go get my surgery. And my goal is to do a little bit of keeping people informed. It'll be sort of a journey, a healing journey that I'll talk about on probably Facebook, uh, through the business, through PrismsScape, since so many of you have been so kind and caring. And also to let people know what's going on and why we're doing all of this. And it's for the good, and I'm very excited about it. And we'll talk a little bit more next week about it. And then we will be on vacation for a while. So anyway, so we love you all. There's how many times can we say it? I don't think we can ever say it too many, but we do. We appreciate your love and your care and support. Without you, we would not be in business. And it's that simple. So everything you do to support us is so, please never underestimate how important what you do is. And from buying a small tumble stone, from just sending us a hello there, every action that you take has given us the heart and the will to continue. And we thank you very, very much. And have a glorious weekend. And we'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you so much.